Serena Williams defends Coco Gauff after racket-smashing video. As Coco Gauff navigates some increased attention following a recent episode of post-match frustration, she has at least one powerful ally in her corner. After losing to Elina Svitolina in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open on Tuesday, Gauff was unwittingly broadcast to all as she smashed her racket on the ground in anger. As she explained in her presser immediately after, she had retreated into the tunnels at Rod Laver Arena in hopes no one would see her execute said destruction. But alas, the understandable moment of humanity was caught on camera for all to see. Living and learning. But still we'll keep trying to move forward, Gauff later wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Also, I'm a real person with real feelings. I care a lot and I'm trying my best. Thank you to those who understand that. Well, among those who understand is tennis legend Serena Williams, who you'll recall has also smashed a racket or two in her day. Echoing a similar sentiment shared by her husband, Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, Williams defended Gauff's competitive spirit in a now viral post online. Passion. Caring. Matters, Williams wrote Tuesday night. Nothing wrong with hating to lose. Now Coco, when you won I can show you how to demolish in one swipe. Serena style. Take a look at that below. It must feel pretty good to be defended by the GOAT of your sport, especially knowing that said GOAT also took some heat for racket smashing back in the day. And to that end, Gauff did reply with a few heart emojis, plus some laughing emojis for good measure. Other players, like Iga Swiatek and Jessica Pegula, also defended Gauff's right to grieve a match in peace. The question is, are we tennis players or are we, like, animals in the zoo where they are observed even when they poop, you know? Swiatek said, per ESPN. Okay, that was exaggerating obviously, but it would be nice to have some privacy. It would be nice also to, I don't know, have your own process and not always be, like, observed. Added Pegula. Coco wasn't wrong when she said the only place is the locker room. We on the court on TV. You come inside. You on TV. I think that's something we need to cut back on for sure. Novak Djokovic, meanwhile, agreed that camera access is too far-reaching, but emphasized he doesn't believe networks will cut back on it anytime soon. It's really sad that you can't basically move away anywhere and hide and, what do you call that? Fume out your frustration, your anger in a way that won't be captured by a camera, he said. But I guess it's really hard for me to see the trend changing in the opposite direction, meaning we take out cameras. If you see, it's only going to be as it is or even more cameras. Athletes are competitors, first and foremost, so you simply cannot blame someone for losing their composure after a match. Gauff's only mistake, if you can call it that, in going somewhere private to let it out was thinking there wouldn't be a camera on her at all. A sharp crack. Fiberglass meeting fury. Coco Gauff's racket, once an extension of her arm, now lay fractured on the court. The camera caught everything, the clenched jaw, the tight shoulders, the moment where frustration spilled over its carefully trained boundaries. Within minutes, the internet did what it always does. Paused, replayed, judged. For some, it was proof of immaturity. For others, a headline waiting to be written. For Coco, it was simply a moment, human, fleeting, and painfully public. And then Serena Williams spoke. When Serena defends you, it is not just an opinion. It is history stepping forward to remind the world that greatness has never been quiet, tidy, or perfectly behaved. Serena knows that sound, the snap of a racket under pressure. She knows the heat that rises when expectations press down like a second gravity. She knows what it means to be young, brilliant, and watched as though every emotion is a verdict on your character. Her defense of Coco Gauff was not dismissal of the moment, but context for it. Not an excuse, but an understanding. Because tennis has always demanded more than athletic perfection. It demands emotional restraint, especially from women, and even more so from black women. Coco Gauff is not just playing opponents across the net. She is playing history, projection, and a culture that often forgets athletes are still learning how to carry the weight placed on them. At 19, Coco already shoulders expectations that took others decades to earn. She is praised as the future, criticized as the present, and analyzed as though she were already complete. But no one arrives complete. Serena Williams understands that better than anyone. For years, Serena's passion was mislabeled. Her fire was called excessive. Her intensity, threatening. The same behaviors that made male players competitive made her difficult. She learned early that excellence would not protect her from scrutiny. It would amplify it. And yet, she never shrank herself to fit the comfort of spectators. So when Serena stood up for Coco, she wasn't just defending a single act of frustration. She was defending the right to feel deeply in a sport that profits from passion but punishes it when it becomes inconvenient. A smashed racket is not the story. Pressure is the story. Growth is the story. Coco Gauff's generation is growing up under a microscope no previous athlete faced. Every misstep is archived. Every reaction becomes content. There is no locker room privacy. No quiet processing of defeat. Pain is streamed in high definition. And still, they are expected to respond with grace every time. Serena's words cut through the noise because they came from someone who had survived it. She reminded critics that emotional moments do not erase discipline, talent, or character. That frustration does not negate professionalism. That passion, when unfiltered, is not a flaw. It is evidence that the stakes matter. More importantly, Serena reframed the moment as part of becoming. Coco Gauff is learning how to lose without losing herself. She is learning how to carry ambition without letting it fracture her joy. These lessons are not taught in practice drills. They are learned in moments like these, messy, uncomfortable, and public. There is also something quietly powerful about Serena defending Coco specifically. Coco grew up watching Serena not just as a champion, but as a possibility. She saw someone who looked like her, dominated like no one else, and refused to apologize for it. Now, that same icon stands beside her, not above her, not judging her, but shielding her long enough for her to breathe. That is legacy in motion. Sports often celebrate mentorship in theory, but Serena made it tangible. She showed what it means to reach back without condescension. To say, I've been there. You're allowed to be human. Keep going. In defending Coco, Serena also challenged the audience. She asked fans and commentators to reconsider what they demand from young athletes. To ask why emotional expression is so quickly framed as failure. To reflect on who gets forgiveness and who gets